What do you think about the whole Ghostface Action Bronson thing?
Loved it.
Now, I think it pretty much started with us because I had interviewed Ghostface.
Right.
And I asked him about the Action Bronson comparison in terms of vocal tone and rhyme style somewhat.
First of all, we've been talked about this.
Yeah.
Roll the tape.
This might be going off track, but it might not. It all ties in. You have a rapper like Action Bronson, who I actually like, but everybody knows he sounds like Ghostface, right? So that's, to me, that's like Osiris, you know. But now Action Bronson is Zeus, okay? Zeus might actually have love for Osiris. Like, nah, I got my style from Osiris. But when we start giving more Zeuses, and then his seeds, the people that look up to Action Bronson now, who are probably young white kids, are gonna think he's the father of the style. They might start copying him, not even never knowing about there was a Ghostface. You dig what I'm saying? And the way black music is turning is where a lot of your top artists now in black music, not just hip hop, black music, are white.
Okay, we're back. Right. And then I asked the same question to Ghostface. And Ghostface was respectful in his answer. He did say that the first time he heard Action Bronson, he was trying to remember when he recorded that song.
Right, exactly.
Which I think is a fair statement.
I mean, I thought he was me one day. You know what I mean? When I heard some shit that I never even fucking. I'm like, when I first got put on his shit. I'm asking myself, when the fuck I do that verse? You know what I mean? They pulled up on the YouTube, on the shit, and I'm like, when the fuck I do? You know what I mean? But it was him. So when I seen him, he was like, yo, everybody saying I sound like you. And I sound like, yo, I'm not trying to sound like you, man. This is just how my voice is. I'm not trying to sound like nobody. He was a good dude, humbled and shit. But he was like, yo, people saying I'm not trying to sound, that's just the tone of my voice. So I'm just looking at, maybe it might be the tone of his voice. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? But I don't really know. You know what I mean? Because if that's not the tone of your voice, then it's like, yo, bro, it's like you're a great actor.
And I think they actually had a song together.
Did they?
They did.
Okay.
Before we did the interview.
Right.
But I think that Ghostface interview, because I think everyone was kind of scared to ask Ghostface that question, except for me, because this is what we do here. Mm-hmm. Action Bronson then went on ESPN and
Act like he bumped his fucking head.
Clearly took a shot at Ghostface. Clearly he could have handled that much more respectfully.
Yes.
Then a couple of days passed. Mm-hmm. Ghost gave him that grace period. He put on
the way he was grabbing his
He had Teddy Pendergrass playing in the background.
Oh my God, that was brilliant. Brilliant.
Only Ghostface could have pulled that off.
Loved it. Well, see, here's the thing, right? First of all, like I said, if you go back to the interview where we were talking about the Action Bronson Ghostface comparison, I likened it to the Egyptian Greek comparison.
Okay.
For every Egyptian god, there's a Greek counterpart, which is basically a carbon copy of the original, stolen from the original, but now we're at a point in history where when you go to school, you're taught about Greek philosophy and all those gods, and you have no idea that that pantheon of gods comes from an Egyptian source.
Okay.
Same type of situation with Action Bronson and Ghostface. Now, when he did that interview, see, he's all along he's been saying, I sound like me, as if he wasn't trying to sound like Ghostface.
Right.
And to me, that's some bullshit.
Because the rhyme style is even similar. The way he inflects his voice.
Thank you. Thank you. And even his humor, the certain words that he'll say, his sense of humor is trying to be Ghostface-like. Like the shit that Ghost will say that will make motherfuckers laugh, he kind of tries to do that same shit, except his shit is more about like raping prostitutes and food and a lot of this other shit, where Ghost would talk about some real street shit, but Bronson is specifically trying to do that. But he tried to almost equate himself as an equal to Ghost when he said, oh, well, there's a lot of comparisons out here. You have Coke and you have Pepsi. No, motherfucker. Because those things actually could be considered almost equal as far as stature, as far as quality. Guess what? Ghost is Pepsi. You're RC Cola, motherfucker. You're a soda that's in a blue can with red and white that would like to get the sales of people who just are grabbing something off the shelf real fast and thought they was grabbing Pepsi, but they grabbed RC Cola instead. You're not even on a level of a fucking Coca-Cola. And so now to try to put yourself to that level and then go as far as to say, Ghost ain't made no shit like this in a minute. I don't think he's making music like this in a while.
He ain't rapping like this, I think.
Right, he ain't rapping like this. No, you rapping like him, motherfucker. What are you talking about? So, now when I heard he apologized, my mind is, what are you apologizing for? Because here's the apology I want, that I want to hear from the young man. And let me just state, I told you this in the last interview, he grew up with my cousins, my first cousins. He got mad love for them. He know they some real motherfuckers on these streets. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, long story short, I think he's just trying to apologize for the shit he said on ESPN.
Right.
I want to hear you say, I apologize for all this time acting like I wasn't biting Ghostface style, to act like it was some sort of haphazard accident. I apologize for not admitting to the people that I purposely tried to sound like this guy.
Yeah.
And I've been denying it all this time. See, that's why he got backed into the corner.
Yeah.
He painted himself into the corner for so long saying, no, I just kind of sound like him. I'm not trying to be him. Now he can't get out the fucking corner. And so then when they asked him that question, he said some dumb shit.
Well, I think that when you look at people in our age range, when they first started hearing Ghostface, when they first started hearing Action Bronson, it was very hard to get into Action Bronson because you kept hearing Ghostface. But when you look at a younger generation who never really heard Ghostface, this sounded like some new hot shit. And they embraced it.
Just like the people who, when Plato and Socrates introduced philosophy to these people and they knew nothing about, Kemet and all of that type of stuff. Holy shit, this man, these are the greatest thinkers in the world. And then the intoxication that comes with the adulation of the people that don't know is what leads these motherfuckers to start lying and burying the truth about those that came before them. See, right now he's in a position where he might be like, Ghost is my idol, da-da-da-da-da-da, even though he's still not admitting that he bit his fucking shit to the T. He's not admitting that. So already he's trying to change history. Oh, and I just, me, Ghost, MF Doom, and maybe somebody else got a new song called History Books. It's not done yet. Dope. Yeah. Anyway, so you're trying to change the history books. You see what I'm saying? And money and fame and all that shit is intoxicating.
some people don't realize that Action Bronson is managed by Paul Rosenberg, who is Eminem's manager slash business partner.
Okay.
Like Action Bronson's on the Southpaw soundtrack, which was executive produced by Eminem, and he's like the only like new rapper I believe that's on there. So in terms of the power and the influence to put him on tours and get features and all this other type of stuff, you got someone extremely powerful behind the scenes that's able to move that around.
Right. And
So-
do you think Paul Rosenberg would have fucked with Action Bronson if he was black? Let's assume there was a black guy, a fat black guy out there that rhymed like Ghostface. Would anybody even be taking him seriously? No.
I mean, you've seen this before. You've seen Gorilla Black.
And nothing happened.
Shyne,
Well,
who I believe came out sounding like Biggie, but I feel
Developed
like
his
he
own
developed
thing.
his own.
Yes, he did.
Vocally, he sounded like Biggie.
I think they're just in that. Now, don't get me wrong. Just like Ghost was saying, Action Bronson's voice may be in that same kind of register naturally as a Ghost. But to mold your rhymes and do the inflections and all that, that's no coincidence right there. But you could have already been in that register, which made you attract to that style. Just like Shyne was in that vocal register of a Biggie so Biggie blows up and you're kind of like, hey, you might go for that for a second until you find your own voice. I'm not gonna lie, like when I was first coming up, my vocal register was kind of in a Rakimish tone. You understand?
Yeah.
But as you go on, I can't come out sounding like Rakim. Like I gotta find my own voice. You know what I mean? So that's what a lot of motherfuckers don't want to go through that work.
Why would Dre put me in it?
Okay.
I mean, because if they start from where they start from, I was just a quiet girlfriend who got beat up and told to sit down and shut up.
Me personally, I do as well because, I mean, even to this day, none of his kids, none of his baby mamas, his mistresses, nobody has came up with HIV or nothing like that. So, I mean, just rationally thinking, some had to go on.